For years, I thought I wanted to become a profitable trader. Now I'm not so sure. In fact, I think I wanted something else entirely. I thought I was building a trading business, but looking back, I was building something else entirely. It took me several years to figure out what it actually was, more on that later. But when I finally did, a lot of things suddenly made sense. The reason it took me so long, I think, is because the market can offer something many things can't. Unlimited action. You can get action at 3 in the morning. You can get action on your lunch break. You can get action waiting in line at the grocery store. And if you're really dedicated, you can turn insomnia into a trading strategy. The market is surprisingly accommodating that way. When I started trading, I thought knowledge was my problem. I thought I hadn't found the answer yet. There was something I didn't know, some secret, some indicator, some setup. So I started looking, and every loss kept me looking even more, because surely the reason I wasn't making money yet was because I hadn't found the answer. But eventually, I noticed something strange. Whenever I found something that worked, I stopped using it. Not immediately. I'd use it, gain a bit of confidence, have a couple green days, and then blow an account. And then I'd start tweaking it. I'd start adding filters. I'd start removing filters. And I'd lovingly smother it to death. And I couldn't understand why I kept doing this. And one day it occurred to me, what if I wasn't looking for profit? What if I was looking for stimulation? Because profitable trading is surprisingly boring. You wait, then you wait some more. Then nothing happens. Then something almost happens. Then nothing happens again. Then eventually there's a setup. And if you're lucky, you take one trade and spend the rest of the day trying to unsuccessfully convince yourself that stopping for the day was the right thing to do. The uncomfortable truth is that action feels productive. Taking a trade feels productive. Researching feels productive. Watching 27 videos on market structure feels productive. Yet, none of these things are necessarily productive, but they feel productive, and feelings are persuasive. Looking back, I think there was something else happening too. As long as I was looking, I never had to find out whether my process actually worked. Searching kept the verdict postponed. There was always another adjustment to make. There was always another thing to test. There was always another explanation for why the results weren't there yet. If you met me 3 years ago, I could run a clinic on PD arrays. Yet the one thing I couldn't do was sit patiently for 30 minutes to wait for a setup. The possibility that I simply needed to keep doing the same thing consistently was strangely difficult to accept, because consistency comes with risk. And if you follow one process long enough, reality will eventually give you an answer. But that answer might not be the one you're looking for. So, searching lets you avoid that conversation entirely. The market figured this out long before I did. Every candle says something is happening. Every guru says you're one secret away. And every strategy says this one is different. And every trader says, finally. I've had hundreds of those finallys. And eventually, I realized what I'd been building all those years. It wasn't a trading business. It was a very expensive entertainment system. The market provided excitement. The market provided hope, fear, adrenaline, occasional euphoria, crushing disappointment. It was basically Netflix, except the plot twists cost a lot more. The strange thing is that the answer was never hidden. It was sitting in plain sight. The answer was patience. The answer was repetition. The answer was following one process long enough to find out whether it actually worked. The answer seemed a lot like doing nothing, which is unfortunate, because doing nothing was one thing I never wanted to do. Most traders say they want profit, and maybe some of them do. But if profit requires boredom and excitement is available immediately, most traders will choose excitement, not once, not consciously, but repeatedly. I know I did, for years. And the moment I understood that, suddenly a lot of things made sense. Not just my losing trades, but my constant searching, my overtrading, my account blowups, my obsession with finding the next thing. I wasn't failing because I hadn't found the answer. I was failing because I was running away from it. The answer wasn't exciting enough. And that's a difficult thing to admit, especially when you've spent years telling yourself you were looking for profit, when in reality, what you were looking for was something to do.